Welcome back to Pirate Videos, the third edition in our 2003 series, following the inside story of the Poole Pirates. Well, the things are looking quite good for the Pirates, having settled into the Elite League, and last week having disposed of the Eastbourne Eagles in the Knockout Cup as well. Well, now they face a new challenge, racing in the British League Cup for the first time here this evening against TRELAWNY. Well, that and the rest of the usual crop of features coming up on Pirate Videos. Well, the British League Cup was, of course, conceived this year to bring Elite League teams and Premier League teams together for the first time. Alan, here we are. It's the second match for the Pirates. Of course, we've already raced at TRELAWNY, and a new team here. I've not seen them here before. I've got to confess to not knowing that much about these riders, but you know them very well.
Yeah, that's right. I rode for half a season last year. So, yeah, it should be quite interesting tonight, I think, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, the situation is that they have seemed to have strengthened up a little bit this year. Chris Harris is certainly not going to be the out-and-out number one, perhaps, and he's got to fight for that position this year.
Yeah, I think, I mean, hopefully, I'm really hoping that Chris will come on and be an out-and-out number one, because he's British, and we're always looking for British lads to come through, and and he looked to me, he's the one that seems to have a little bit of fire in his belly, I think, at the moment.
There's also, of course, Emiliano SANCHEZ, who lines up at number one tonight, and Pavel ONDRASIK.
Yeah, Emilio, you know, if it's slick, which it looks relatively slick, obviously, tonight, because a few of them are a bit novices, like. I think Emilio, if he can get out in front, you're going to have to watch him, because he can set the pace. And Pavel's a bit of an enigma. 1 minute he can be absolutely brilliant, and then the next minute he'll have an absolutely bone last. It's really strange, but if they do hit the front and they get going, then they'll be hard to catch, them two.
I've noticed that Steve Masters is a bit the same. He started out, had a couple of good meetings, but he's been a bit up and down too. Yeah,
Steve, I speak to Steve, obviously, because he lives in Swindon, and he came round the other day. He's having problems with setups and stuff at the moment, and he's not getting a comfortable ride at the moment. He's a little bit all over the shop at the moment. He said he's just trying to get things right, but if he gets it right tonight, you know, it's going to be a tough meeting for Poole.
Now, obviously, the Pirates have got a very different look. There's no Craig Boyce, who's now going to go on loan to Oxford for a month, and 3 new faces in the Pirates team.
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously, I think Poole will be looking to Lukas to be getting to, you know, being the number one boy tonight. I think Lukas should be out there with a maximum tonight. And then obviously you got Andre as well. You know, he's a heat leader for Sheffield. So really, in this sort of company, they should be doing the business, really. And it's down to Bjarne, because Bjarne's been a little bit up and down at the moment. It's really, I think a lot sort of lies on Bjarne tonight. If Bjarne goes okay, I think then Poole should be okay, because they've got a relatively inexperienced side. I mean, Tony Primmer's only ridden a couple of meetings, and Cameron Woodward, and the young lad from Poole, Danny Warwick. So, you know, I think a lot relies on Bjarne tonight, which I think, you know, he should pull through.
A lot of people are talking about Cameron, telling us good things about him, and of course he's come under the recommendation of Lee Adams.
I spoke to Lee this morning, because he rang me up and he said, can I just keep an eye on him, because he's a bit raw and a bit young. Lee says he's not quite, to be fair to Lee, he did say he's not quite ready for it as yet. But, you know, at the end of the day, Lee got chucked over as a 17-year-old kid, so can't see the difference, but, you know, as long as he can get stuck in, he should be okay.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to us again. We'll see what unfolds on the track. Well, you may remember, of course, there was concern against Eastbourne here at Poole just a few days ago that David Ruud was unwell. We caught up with him a few minutes ago and managed to ask him whether he felt better.
Yeah, much better now. I have a little bit of battle in flu or something, so, but now it's much better.
It seemed a great shame because on Friday you put in a first winning ride, and then obviously we could see that you were very poorly in the pits indeed, weren't you?
Yeah, after the first heat I'm feeling much bad, so I went to the hospital and they checked me up, and yeah, then I went to Eastbourne.
Okay, now I believe it was dehydration, so they must have had to put fluids into you?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Okay, and then you did manage to get to Eastbourne and rode 3 races?
Yeah, I win the first heat, and I was third in my second, I think, so it was quite okay, but I feeling very tired, and yeah, it was hard meeting for me.
Okay, now tonight is a big difference racing in the British League Cup against Trelawney, a team that we don't usually see here. What are you expecting from tonight?
I think it's going to be a tough meeting, but of course we win, I think. It's some new riders today in our team, but I think they will do a good job.
I think so too. Let's hope so, and wish you the best of luck. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, it's great to see that David is feeling a bit better. He certainly looks more himself. One rider who we've already seen at Poole, of course, was Chris Harris, riding for Trelawney tonight instead of Peterborough, and we caught up with him a few moments ago too.
Yeah, you know, it's my home team, and hopefully we can come in and do a bit better than I did last time. I only had a few points in the league, but it was Elite League, so it's a bit different this week. It's the British League, so hopefully we can do well.
The situation at Trelawney is quite an interesting one. You're still holding the highest average, I think, just at the moment, but the battle for the top position is probably going to be quite tight this year. They really seem to have strengthened up.
Yeah, we've got a good bunch of lads with us. You know, we all want to win, and so we brought Matty in and coming on 9, and I think he's kept that at the moment. So you know, it's going to be a fight to keep the tops, but you know, I'm not going to give up without a fight.
You've had the chance, obviously, to ride the Poole circuit when you were here with Peterborough a few weeks ago, and you're back again in a few weeks' time. What do you think about the Poole track? Is it one that suits you?
Yeah, I don't mind it. You know, it's just a track everybody's got to ride, so you just go out and do your job. Yeah, so hopefully it looks a bit better, and I come here with Peterborough, so hopefully we can score a few more points and come off with a win, hopefully.
And obviously the Pirates are looking very different, because even from the team that raced at Trelawney, they're facing 3 or 4 new faces tonight.
Yeah, without Boyce and all, and I think it's still going to be a hard team to beat around here, around Poole. They got DRYML and all, and Bjarne, so, but you know, all the boys are confident, so hopefully we can just come out and see what we can do.
I've seen quite a few of your supporters dotted around. They look as though they've turned out in force.
Yeah, we brought a few up with the yellow hats on, and also you can't miss them, so they'll be shouting.
Okay, I hope it's a good match, and obviously wish you good luck.
Well, the British League Cup comes to Wimborne Road for the very first time with this intriguing clash between Poole Pirates and TRELAWNY Tigers. Pirates, as we already heard, defending an 11-point lead, track Andre Compton and Danny Warwick. And they come out against Emiliano SANCHEZ and Pavel ONDRASIK. Rider in yellow, who is Pavel ONDRASIK, and back in third place, Emiliano SANCHEZ, and unfortunately, the track with a bit of trouble, but picks himself up and on his way. As Andre Compton comes under some pressure from Pavel ONDRASIK. Points for the Tigers in the home fixture. Andre Compton had the ride in the match down in Cornwall, and due to everything on that occasion, Relative is number 1 pole position in the Pirates lineup here this evening, and it comes around the final bend to take the checkered flag for a race win. Ahead of ONDRASIK in second place, Emiliano SANCHEZ third, and Danny Warwick picks himself up, crosses the line, completes the race. Opening heat sees a draw, 3 points to each side. On to race number 2, and 2 new Poole signings lining up on grids 2 and 4 in the red helmet. 18-year-old Cameron Woodward, just freshly arrived in Britain, and Tony Primmer in the blue helmet. And in green, the rider number 6 for Trelawney, Simon Phillips. And in the green helmet, Tom Brown. So it's Simon Phillips and Tom Brown holding us maximum heat advantage in this stage. Tony Primmer moves to take third place, and Cameron Woodward at the back in 4th. So the visitors taking a maximum heat at this stage, 5 points to 1. Tony Primmer now starting to challenge up the inside line. Having a little bit of a ding-dong. In fact, that's a nice pass by Tony Primmer. And Simon Phillips now back to 3rd. But Tom Brown continuing to lead the race. Against the Pirates already. Looks as if Tom Brown is going to better that. Oh dear, we got a 3-rider tumble. In fact, we certainly had a 2-rider tumble. Cameron Woodward challenging for 3rd place took a tumble at the very same time as Tony Primmer. So in fact, Cameron Woodward remounts on the final bend to take 3rd place, and Tony Primmer just pushing his bike back to the pit. So it all happened on the final bend there, unfortunately not in the Pirates' favour, but that was something that will give the visiting Tigers every bit of heart, because Simon Phillips was the race winner, and Tom Brown joined him for maximum points. That's how they finished. Scoreline then 4 to the Pirates and 8 to Trelawney. Pretty strong pairing for Poole in the 3rd race, with Lukas DRYML captain for this evening and David Ruud. They're out against Matej ZAGAR, a Slovenian rider, and his partner, a former favourite here at Wimborne Road, Steve Masters. So it's Lukas DRYML in the red helmet on grid 3. David Ruud fully recovered seemingly from his bit of food poisoning, which certainly curtailed his racing on Good Friday against Eastbourne. And David in the blue helmet, Matej ZAGAR in the green helmet. Matej ZAGAR from Slovenia. Steve Harris very strong Pirates pairing. Immediate race leader Lukas DRYML, favourite, just big half dozen fixtures here at the star that has won up so many admirers down here. David Matej second. Green Matej ZAGAR. And so if it stays this way, Poole are going to level up the proceedings. It's going to be a 5-1 with a lap to go. And that won't be the case this time. Around the final turn. There goes Lukas DRYML, David Ruud, and coming through on the final turn there to take 3rd place in yellow was Steve Masters after a spot of engine trouble from the rider in green, Matej ZAGAR. 9 points to each side then, the progressive score with that 5-1. So race number 4, and another superb turnout here at Wimborne Road, despite the counter attractions of Man United versus Real Madrid on the TV, live football in the European Cup competition, and not to mention live Elite League Speedway, but the Wimborne Road faithful want to be here to see the Pirates. They don't want to miss any of the action, and who can blame them? Here in race number 4, they're represented by Bjarne PEDERSEN in the red helmet, and second outing for the veteran Australian Tony Primmer, who's in the blue helmet, whilst for the visitors Trelawney, Chris Harris, their captain, Bomber Harris, who scored so well for Peterborough in the opening match of the season here, so we know what to expect from him. And of course, his partner, winner first time out, number 7, Tom Brown. Here we are, up on the tape, and Chris Harris Bjarne PEDERSEN taking the outside line, and Chris Harris on the inside. A bit of a dice-up between these two. I'm really impressed by the young Cornishman this season. Come on in leaps and bounds. He's been scoring prolific. Peterborough matches in the Elite League are taking some big scouts on the way to some very impressive match trophies. But the inside, Bjarne PEDERSEN comes to be in the league. Just the sort of match to get Bjarne, who's been a little bit indifferent in some of his racing, right back on form. Certainly not been given an easy ride. Chris Harris is buzzing around his back wheel for the whole of the 4 laps. It's good to see that this time Tony Primmer has stayed on for 4 laps and taken a valuable 3rd place at the expense of the rider in yellow, that's Tom Brown. So for the first time this evening, the Pirates go into the lead, albeit a narrow one by 13 points to 11. Well, coming out for the Pirates this time in blue on the inside starting position is Danny Warwick. He normally rides in the Conference League for Newport, but he's a Poole lad, lives at Camford Heath, and this is his very first match on the Wimborne Road track. He had a few laps around here after the Oxford Elite League fixture last season. That's the only time that he's ever seen the circuit. He just lives a couple of miles away. And have we seen the debut tonight of a rider who perhaps one day may grace the colours of the Pirates on a more permanent basis? We'll have to see. Obviously he's a good tumble first time out. We're hoping to improve on that this time. He's paired with Andre Compton, and the opposition is from Chris Harris and Simon Phillips. Away they go then, and Chris Harris from Andre Compton. Danny Warwick under pressure from Simon Phillips the 3rd, but holding on at this stage. Andre Compton trying a pass on the visiting captain. Holding that advantage, Andre Compton right on his back wheel. Danny Warwick at this stage looking good in 3rd place, and back in 4th, Simon Phillips. So a drawn race as we go into lap 3. It's as if in the few weeks since he last rode here that Chris Harris hasn't forgotten the quickest way around this track, and Andre Compton having, I think, the lap to go to settle for the 2nd race. Danny Warwick still holding on there. Pretty good for his 3rd place. If it stays on this way then, that 6-point advantage to the Pirates is going to be kept intact. We're at the final bend. Danny Warwick manages to negotiate it and stay on his bike this time, so that will please him and all his local fans here. No doubt about the winner of that one though. It was the visitors Chris Harris. Andre Compton followed him home, Danny Warwick 3rd, and Simon Phillips 4th. And the scoreline now 21 to the Pirates and 15 to the Tigers. Tactical change time for the TRELAWNY Tigers, and looking very good for a 5-1 this time with Emiliano SANCHEZ and Pavel ONDRASIK out against Danny Warwick and Tony Primmer. Other ideas if you get out of the gate to lead these 2 Tigers around the back straight. Well, who would have thought that? Tony Primmer, this is his first home fixture for the Pirates, and he's got certainly some pretty stern opposition. In fact, the riders trying to take the advantage around the outside. Tony Primmer then in 2nd at this stage, and Emiliano SANCHEZ in yellow, buzzing around the back of the 37-year-old Aussie, making his first National Cup outing for the Pirates. So that potential 5-1 that I thought was on the cards for the Tigers proving not to be very much, and the efforts of Tony Primmer is using all his racing experience to tuck in there at this stage for the 2nd place. So the tax-off did give the Tigers a heat victory, but only by 4 points to 2. It was a win for their number 2 rider in green, and that's Pavel ONDRASIK, the Czech rider. 2nd then was Tony Primmer, third Emiliano SANCHEZ, and fourth Danny Warwick. 4 points to 2 visitors, scoreline 26 to Poole, 22 to Trelawney. Well, Lukas DRYML, 2 rides, 2 wins, an impressive style this evening, comes out again with his equally unbeaten riding partner David Ruud. Is this going to be another 5-1 for the Pirates from this pairing? They face the strongest opposition threat, and that of course is Chris Bomber Harris, who's in the green helmet. His partner this time in the yellow helmet on grid 3 will be Simon Phillips. So let's see what these high-flying Elite League stars can provide us with this time. Lukas DRYML, of course, is on the wide outside. Chris Harris there on the advantageous gate 1 position. Lucas quite happy with something, just making the last minute clutch adjustment. Up goes Tate. Swinging a right round the outside to join him. We have Lukas DRYML, so at this stage the promised 5-1 has turned into reality. David Ruud his way around this track. Lucas Harris floating in, and he's not to be outdone, and very good go. And David Ruud, Lukas DRYML way out in front. That's the race half over. Looks like Chris Harris is just waiting the pants. David Ruud just made one mistake, and I'm sure he's through. David taking a quick look coming out. Chris Harris making a move up the inside now. Superb pass on the inside, and David Ruud, we know what stern stuff he's made of. He'll fight back, and these 2 riders are going to make a dash for the line. Oh, dearie me, and I think whatever happened there, David Ruud just lost his foot from the footrest, and I got a feeling that Chris Harris came through to take second. So that's a 4-2 heat advantage to the Pirates, who now lead by 30 points to 24. Well, we're on to race 13 now. Normally here on Elite League nights that would be Tony Rickardson and Lee Adams. Well, for the Pirates tonight it's Compton and Bjarne PEDERSEN. And the opposition riders come in the shape of Chris Harris and Emiliano SANCHEZ. Chris Harris then well at the back of the field, which means that of course it looks like a comfortable 5-1 for the Pirates. Certainly Bjarne PEDERSEN out in front. Andre coming under a little bit of pressure from SANCHEZ, the Argentinian, in the green helmet for the TRELAWNY Tigers. I'm not sure that they're going to make too much impression on these swashbuckling Pirates. Still on a 5-1, I don't think they're going to relinquish it. Lap and a half to go. Bjarne PEDERSEN looking comfortable for his 4th win from 4 outings. Andre Compton behind the key partner if he can sustain this advantage for the last half lap, which he needs to be doing. So Bjarne PEDERSEN takes the checkered flag, Andre Compton second, Emiliano SANCHEZ third, and somewhat surprisingly trailing at the back of the field there was Chris Harris. 5-1 to the Pirates, 45 points to 33, their advantage with 2 heats to go. Well, it's nominated riders' time, the final heat of this British League Cup fixture, and the TRELAWNY Tigers have won the inside starting positions, and they'll be tracking Pavel ONDRASIK and Chris Harris. And for the Pirates, in the red helmet, skipper for the night is Lukas DRYML, and his partner in blue, Bjarne PEDERSEN. So Lukas and Bjarne really unbeaten by an opponent, both on 12 points and 4 starts apiece. These 2 Grand Prix riders, very much the form book in evidence tonight, and I have a sneaking feeling that it's going to remain that way after this race, but we're about to find out as the names go up. And away goes Lukas DRYML, and Bjarne PEDERSEN. Oh, Lukas DRYML seems to have done a train on the first bend. So, in fact, I've eaten my words straight away. The kiss of death for the maximum homes of Lukas DRYML, but Bjarne PEDERSEN is going to be looking at a 15-point advantage after one lap. He's ahead of Pavel ONDRASIK and Chris Harris, and I've got a feeling that that 15 points is almost in the bag as the race reaches the halfway stage. Poor old Lukas DRYML is tucked away on the mechanical failure. Bjarne PEDERSEN away into the night sky. Comfortable lead. He's around to take the yellow flag. 1 lap remaining. The Pirates are going to secure a 54 points to 38. Nice victory. This is the order of things. It's very much as it is. Half lap to go. Bjarne PEDERSEN from Chris Harris and Pavel ONDRASIK. And that is indeed how they cross the line, and the rest of the Pirates there greeting that 15-point maximum from the Danish rider. And after a few indifferent Elite League fixtures, it's 15 points in the bag for Bjarne, and he'll be very pleased with that as the fireworks go off into the night sky. And rounding off the proceedings in this British League Cup, an intriguing fixture. Still got to look forward to visits from Wolverhampton, Newport and Exeter in the same competition a bit later in the season. So some different faces from the regular Elite League teams this season, and I'm sure this competition is going to add quite considerably to the variety that we'll be having here at Wimborne Road this season. We're about back tonight.
52 to 38 is a pretty convincing victory for the Pirates, but it was certainly no picnic. As we saw, it was really only in the latter stages that the Pirates pulled away and made that victory as convincing as it was. Well, of course, that is a good start. Pirates now unbeaten in their British League Cup group. The other members of the group, of course, Exeter, Newport, Somerset and Wolverhampton. Well, they've got to emulate the Pirates in what they've done so far. So Pirates not beaten from their first 2 outings in the British League Cup. Let's see how they get on as we continue. And of course, the continuing story of the British League Cup, the Elite League and all those other features will be here on Pirate Videos.